Mrs. Obama graces the cover of the new September issue of Ebony magazine, which promises to reveal the real Michelle as a mother, a wife, and a style icon. Harriette Cole is the creative director who wrote and spearheaded the art direction of Ebony's cover article on Michelle Obama. Harriette, good to see you today.
You too.
So your article mentions that the Obamas are sort of this 2008 version of the Huxtables on the Cosby Show, but a recent poll shows 35% view Michelle Obama unfavorably. In your opinion, is she aware of that disapproval? Is she aware of the disconnect between her and some voters?
You know, she said to us that, because I asked that question, she said that people are just getting to know her, you know, in the same way that they're getting to know her husband. They're relatively new on the national landscape. And part of the reason why we did this story with her, as many other people are looking at their lives, is to show who are they. And what Michelle did was to let us look at her life. She invited me to walk down the street she lived on when she was growing up, to meet her mother and talk to her, to, you know, get a sense of who she was as a little girl coming into who she is now, and to talk to many of her friends to really get a sense of who is this woman. What Michelle said was that when she's on the campaign trail, like she will be today and is on many other days, and she connects with voters, then they get to see who she is as a dynamic mom, working woman, and you know, somebody who...
Harriette, does she have to do, does she feel like she needs to do that to let you all in to sort of combat this far-fetched idea that she's a radical, militant African-American woman, that she somehow, you know, when you read about her college essays or whatever, that there's some sort of anger toward America lurking beneath what you see on the exterior?
Well, you know, as we know, in the political climate, there are lots of negative things that get said, and negative things often take on a life of their own. So what she has said is that she wants Americans to know who she is, and also that she doesn't want anything about her to be a distraction to the big issues that are very important to the American people. So letting people know who she is, letting people understand how she grew up, what her values are, and very interestingly, Contessa, she grew up in a very traditional way, you know, in a household where her parents were married 30 years before her father passed away. When her mother told the story when they were in kindergarten, she gave them alarm clocks because she wanted them to be responsible and accountable as kids. And she's grown up to be responsible and accountable as, you know, the woman she is today.
We were seeing some video here. I'm surprised she let you videotape her while she's getting her makeup done. That would not happen with me, Harriette. But that being said, you also have, we're seeing some video of Barack and Michelle. They seem very affectionate. Perhaps, I mean, some look at it and say they even were a little frisky in this interview. What did you learn about their relationship?
Well, that video, by the way, is the very first cover that I did for Ebony. It was in February '07, right before Barack announced that he was running for president, and it was for our love issue. So what you're seeing is video from that moment, and what you see is that they do love each other. To us, it was a pretty great thing to see that here's a couple devoted to the country and to each other. And that was inspiring. I think it's inspiring for families to see that you can have a healthy, loving relationship, great kids, and to offer service to the country.
Did she say anything about the fact that she's become this style icon? I mean, the dress that she wore on The View sold out.
Yes. She did. She came to us from The View for a photo shoot, and she said, hey, I love the dress. And she buys, like many other American women, she buys from The Gap, she buys from that white market,
it's the
Black Market
White House.
Name of Black Market White House, and also from designers who make things for her. But when I asked her about the comparison to Jacqueline Kennedy, which is the big comparison that many people are making, she said, while I love the fact that I would be compared to her and her style, what I love more is how she was as a mother, and that she raised Caroline. She got a chance, of course, to meet Caroline on the campaign trail and has been able to talk to her, and she said if she could raise her children in the way that Jackie Kennedy raised hers, in the midst of all the strife that they had to deal with, that would be the greatest testimony to her life. And I think, you know, she brings it back to center, back to core values as opposed to the pretty dress. But it is true, we're enjoying the fact that she wears beautiful clothes.
Well, you know, and we like to look at nice-looking people, and she certainly is one of them. Harriette, thank you so much for sharing your perspective. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
The magazine hits the newsstands Tuesday, August 12th, and there's also an interview with Michelle's mom on the inside.